Social media ain't just about likes and followers anymore. It's a war zone where beef gets aired out and the streets don't play fair. In the rap game and beyond, IG Live has turned into the spot where flexing and disrespecting can turn deadly real quick.
Oh, stop, sis.
Watch that. Hey, take Pee-wee to the doctor. Give me that. Give me that.
From this dude talking recklessly in his Opps' hood and getting shot at instantly.
I ain't talking about nothing. Faking. It's faking.
To Indian Red Boy's tragic end after disrespecting Nipsey Hussle's mural.
Still shoot your big homie and your main IFG.
Blood. Where you at?
He was JoJo. Bitch, in you on.
These are the times when going live got real, and the price was everything. One of the most infamous IG Live incidents involves P. Rico, a prominent figure in Chicago's drill music scene. Known for his loyalty to his late friend Lil Jojo, P. Rico has made it clear that dissing Jojo is a line you don't cross.
He was JoJo. Bitch, in you on.
The victim in this situation, Lil Kahari, a member of the 600 gang, decided to test those boundaries. On IG Live, Kahari made disrespectful comments about Lil Jojo, unaware of the swift repercussions awaiting him. Soon after, P. Rico's crew caught up with Kahari, and Rico broadcasted the aftermath live.
Beat his beat his beat his beat his beat his beat his beat his. He was beat his in you on. Beat his. You go.
The video shows the group beating Kahari while Rico's voice rings out, warning others not to disrespect his fallen friend. In another notable incident, King Yella took to IG Live to address a diss track by Lil Durk. The track, a remix of Meek Mill's We Ball, reignited old rivalries by mentioning Lil Jojo and other fallen figures in Chicago's drill scene. Lil Durk's lyrics were incendiary, mocking rivals and stoking the flames of gang feuds. King Yella's response on IG Live was a mix of anger and defiance. He called out Durk for naming deceased individuals and vowed to stand up for his fallen friends. P. Rico also joined the conversation, further criticizing Durk and his affiliates for reigniting old beefs. Durk's lyrics didn't hold back, mentioning Jojo and mocking others in the Chicago drill scene. I'm smoking on that Zico, Fathead, Tuka, Low Mark, Jojo. Yes, we do it, gang. Lil Jojo, a member of the Brick Squad faction in Chicago, became an emblem of the city's drill music era and its violent gang rivalries. His 2012 unalivement remains one of the most infamous events in the scene, with many blaming it on his feud with OTF and 600. When Durk dissed Jojo in We Ball, it reopened wounds from the 2013 drill era, a time when Chicago's gang conflicts heavily influenced his music scene. When news of the diss reached P. Rico, he wasted no time addressing it on IG. His response was passionate and uncompromising. No need for dissing Lil Durk. Nusky got hit. Ish witted on him. Booker LA can't go to no more studios or get 50-cent cakes no more. Nusky, Lil Durk's cousin, was fatally shot in 2014 while sitting in a car at a Chicago strip mall. His death became a tragic symbol of the escalating violence surrounding Chicago's drill music. Rico's mention of Nusky was a pointed reminder of the stakes in their conflict. IG has become a platform where Chicago rappers publicly air grievances and address their rivals, often escalating tensions in real time. Rico's piece was not just a reaction, but a continuation of the cycle of callouts that characterized the drill scene. P. Rico made it clear that mocking Jojo's name wouldn't be tolerated, reminding Durk of past losses in his own camp. This post wasn't just a reaction, it was a statement of loyalty to Jojo's legacy and a warning to those crossing the line. Lil Durk, your daddy still getting, and you let Lil Loss smack dowish out of you and made you be. The tensions boiled over as other figures joined the fray. King Yella, another ally of JoJo, took to social media to criticize Durk and Bucka. I hear you naming dead ends again with your soft A, you a be goofy BDKP. King Yella, a prominent figure in the Chicago drill scene, has long been vocal about his alliances and opposition to OTF. His involvement added fuel to an already volatile situation. Dissing the dead, a controversial hallmark of Chicago's drill music, is seen by many as crossing a line, often resulting in violent retaliation.
Now, what was Lil Durk's reputation like growing up?
Nothing. What reputation? That came out the rapping.
Dissing your ops is a dangerous game in Chicago. But for 757 Lil G, taunting OTV in their own territory took things to a whole new level. This story is not just about rap or neighborhood pride. It's a chilling reminder of the violent realities tied to drill culture. 757 Lil G isn't just known for his music. His diss tracks and live videos have also fueled one of the city's most heated rivalries.
Someone we slide, they better have them poles out. Someone we slide, they better have them poles. Put your shit, stand over here and watch them bust. SRT, that bitch too loud, so give me your face. Ain't even trying to bobble with that glizzy ball fade. Then I line them up.
Before we dive into his brazen decision to taunt OTV right on their turf, let's explore how these neighborhoods became embroiled in a decades-long feud that Lil G found himself caught in. 757 and OTV, both rooted in Chicago's South Side, are more than just neighboring groups. Their history traces back over 50 years of gang wars between the GDs and MCs in the Dearborn projects. The newer generation rebranded as 7 and 57 and OTV Chemo Gang, but the animosity remains unchanged. What started as territorial disputes has evolved into a blood feud, with both sides locked in a cycle of retaliation. As a prominent face of 757, Lil G has built his reputation through both music and street activities. His lyrics often target rival crews, including OTV, calling out specific members and mocking fallen enemies. On tracks and social media, Lil G doesn't shy away from naming names or flaunting his block's dominance, a strategy designed to boost his credibility and provoke his rivals.
You know we flipping blocks, crack his top. I put in work with.
But Lil G's most audacious move came when he went live on social media from OTV's block, brazenly dissing them in front of their headquarters. Clips from this live stream show Lil G mocking OTV members, referencing past altercations and taunting them to respond. He mocked OTV for having deceased members and claimed that 757 members are still alive and active. And as if that was not enough, he tried to establish dominance and leadership while implying that OTV has no one of his caliber or influence. For those unfamiliar with Chicago's gang culture, this isn't just about words. It's a high-stakes gamble where disrespect is often met with deadly consequences. What happened next shocked even those used to the chaos of the streets. Within moments of leaving the livestream, Lil LG was ambushed and shot in what many believe was a direct retaliation. Miraculously, he survived, but the aftermath left tensions at an all-time high between the two factions. Then there is GBO Gaston, widely known as one of LA's most hated figures. He built his infamy through a series of increasingly disrespectful acts. His most notorious moment came when he brazenly disrespected Nipsey Hussle immediately after his death. His disrespect reached new lows when he went to Nipsey's grave. Beyond just filming there, he committed one of the most disrespectful acts possible by spitting on the gravesite.
When I spit on Cut's grave, sissies not like dead homies.
When confronted about this behavior, Gaston showed no remorse. And then there is the situation with Mr. Get It Done. It all went down in March the 2. Mr. Get It Done, a name people in Los Angeles know for holding his own, was chilling at a barbershop on Manchester Ave, just another day getting a fresh cut. He decided to hop on Instagram Live, chatting with his followers while waiting in the chair. Then, out of nowhere, here comes GBO Gaston popping into the live. He wasn't there to watch quietly though. Dude was talking wild, calling Mr. Get It Done out and asking for his location like he wanted a real problem. Gaston was talking reckless and Mr. Get It Done wasn't about to let that slide. He gave him the address, straight up saying, "If you're about it, pull up." At first, people thought Gaston was just doing his usual routine. Big talk, no action. But about an hour later, Gaston went live again, and this time, he was sitting in his car right outside the barbershop. Still talking tough, he called out "Get It Done" and demanded he come outside. Here's the thing about Mr. Get It Done. He's not the type to hide. He walked outside to confront Gaston, who was still in his car shouting threats. Gaston started saying he'd shoot up the shop.
I'm gonna shoot up this bar if Cud don't come outside, bro. Why is Cud leaving his phone in the... Like, what is Cud doing?
That's when things took a turn. Gaston masked up, drove past the shop, and fired a single shot. But here's where it gets embarrassing. He missed completely. The bullet didn't hit anyone. It just lodged itself into the wall. What was Mr. Get It Done's reaction? Calm as ever. He went back on live and said, he shot and missed. No panic, no fear, just facts.
He shot and he missed. You shot it, he missed.
Meanwhile, Gaston sped off like he'd accomplished something. The whole incident went viral. Clips of the live stream circulated everywhere, and Gaston became jokes. People couldn't believe how reckless he was being, firing a gun on live, missing his shot, and then running away like a scared kid. You'd think something like this would lead to serious consequences, especially with California's strict gun laws. But somehow, Gaston kept dodging real accountability. It didn't stop there. Not long after, Gaston started targeting other people in the LA scene. One of his next stunts involved Adam 22 from No Jumper. Gaston drove to Adam's house, filming himself waving a gun and spitting on the gate, trying to provoke a reaction. Adam wasn't biting though. He stayed quiet, probably realizing Gaston was only looking for more attention. Then came Crip Mac, another well-known name in the city. Gaston tried to get him riled up on Instagram Live, but Crip Mac wasn't interested in playing along. He called Gaston a snitch, said his piece, and logged off, leaving Gaston looking foolish once again. But Gaston's antics were catching up with him. Instagram banned his account after too many reports of harassment and threats. Then his car got wrecked. Not surprising, given how many people had it out for him. And just as his social media clout was dying down, he got himself into even more trouble. In one of his wildest stunts yet, Gaston pulled a gun on a woman, leading to a full-blown standoff with police. SWAT had to get involved to bring him in. Somehow, after all that, he was released. But instead of lying low, he got right back into trouble. One of the final straws came when he was arrested for an armed robbery at a hotel. Reports say he and some accomplices ran up on a guest, taking everything they could before fleeing the scene. Now, Gaston is facing multiple charges that could land him up to 35 years in prison. Even with all that looming over his head, Gaston's behavior hasn't changed. He's back on Instagram trying to rebuild his following. In a sad twist, he's even been posting stories begging his ex-girlfriend to take him back. Word is, her father and a couple of other people decided to handle things personally, leaving Gaston bruised and humiliated. Coming off the drama with Gaston, you'd think we've seen it all, right? But in the world of rap beefs, it never ends. From Gaston's bold moves to another rapper trying to prove his street credibility, let's shift gears and talk about Lil CJ Casino, who pulled up to his Opps hood solo. Or so he claims. But instead of squashing beef, he might have just poured gasoline on the fire. In 2022, Lil CJ Casino has been in the mix with some heavy beef in Fort Worth, Texas. In an attempt to settle things, he hopped on Instagram Live, sitting outside in the hood, boasting about being there by himself and calling out his enemies to pull up. He claimed it was all about squashing beef without interference from the OGs.
Blood, I'm in the hood by myself. I'm South City. Pop out. I don't need no big homies to protect me. You scary as a... On blood, I don't need no big homies to protect me.
Sounds real gangster, right? Well, that's until the shots started popping off. The moment the first shots ring out, you start hearing a chorus of screams. That's when the comment section lit up like a Christmas tree.
Got my little cornrow on Stop 6. Watch that.
Hey, take Pee-wee to the doctor. Give me that. Give me that.
Casino later tried to clear things up in an interview, claiming he'd been waiting for so long on his enemies to show that his own people eventually showed up to back him. He even said the gunshots y'all heard on live weren't aimed at him and weren't close enough to hit anything. According to him, the shooters were just lame dudes taking pot shots from a distance.
It was just some little lame, man. They want to pull up and look me in the eye.
But let's keep it real. If you gotta explain yourself this much, the streets are gonna clown you, and clown they did. The internet is undefeated when it comes to exposing cap, and Casino Situation was no exception. Here's what people had to say. Lamel, we know what's cap, but for the record, it was not a shootout if you don't shoot back. Man, he said I'm by myself, and soon as them shots rang out, you heard all the extra people hollering and screaming. This end said that wasn't even my live. Casino Situation was chaotic, but at least he made it out alive. Not everyone in the streets is that lucky, especially when social media becomes the battlefield. Let's talk about a dude who took the clout chase to a whole new level, pulling up to his Opps' hood on IG Live, talking reckless. Spoiler alert, it didn't end well for him. Imagine this, a guy strolling through enemy territory, phone in hand, IG Live rolling. He's hyped up, calling out his Opps with subtitles that might as well be his own obituary.
Just told me to pull up at Kim's. The fuck? Come on, man, stop playing, man. For real, I'll really flash on and crash on and stay.
Then, in true street fashion, the universe said, bet. Before he could finish running his mouth, shots rang out. The screen flipped, and suddenly our guy wasn't so tough anymore. The last words on the live? I have been shot by a gang defending their territory. The streets are undefeated, and if you needed a clearer example of instant karma, this is it. But pulling stunts on IG Live doesn't just end with a few scratches. Sometimes it costs you your life. No one knows that better than Cali rapper Indian Red Boy, whose tragic fate became a chilling example of what happens when online antics meet real-world beef. Indian Red Boy, a member of the Inglewood family gang, made headlines after being shot and offed during an IG Live session in 2021. What led to this moment? Depending on who you ask, the reasons vary, but the result was the same. A brutal reminder of the dangers tied to social media and street politics. One theory is that Indian Red Boy's death was connected to the disrespect shown toward Nipsey Hussle's mural. Video surfaced of him and another gang affiliate, Baby Capone, laughing and joking about vandalizing Nipsey's tribute.
Still shoot your big homie and your main IFG.
The video rubbed people the wrong way, especially in LA, where Nipsey Hussle is practically a saint in some circles. Many speculate that this blatant disrespect made him a target. Another theory suggests that his death wasn't about Nipsey at all, but instead tied to a woman. Allegedly, Red Boy got caught up in a love triangle, which led to heated tensions. Either way, when gang beef overlaps with personal drama, the body count tends to rise. On the day of the shooting, Indian Red Boy was sitting in his car, casually chatting on IG Live with a friend.
What the?
Where you at?
Mid-conversation, gunfire erupted, the screen shook, and his last words were haunting. "Help me, I'm losing my breath." That moment sent shockwaves across social media, sparking debates about whether live streaming in the middle of gang wars is pure stupidity or just the sad reality of clout culture. From disrespecting territories to dissing legends, we've seen how quick the streets respond to online antics. But the dangers of clout chasing and public beefs don't stop with gang wars. They bleed into personal relationships too. This brings us to Tanda God. Apparently, Tanda God's boyfriend was known to be controlling and aggressive. Friends and fans claim she was in a dangerous relationship. They say she K'd him in self-defense, but others think she took things too far.
Smoking on that Axewood pack.
Oh yeah, you know it. I got the smoke on this dead we speak. Hold up.
After his death, Tanda God posted videos online where she laughed at his grave.
You should have never played with me, because then I gotta take it to the 3rd degree, you know?
The video shocked everyone. News channels covered the story, and it quickly went viral. People couldn't believe how openly she disrespected her dead boyfriend. In one video, she was seen dancing and smiling at the graveyard. Some fans defended her, saying she was finally free from an abusive man. But most people felt she crossed a line that could never be uncrossed. Why would she do that? Was it a cry for help, or was she just trying to get attention?
That's the thing, like, dead, like, you're dead. Like,
dead?
While we don't know the answers to some of that, we do know that Tandagod's actions made her a target. People on the street started to see her as a villain. They couldn't forgive her for the way she mocked her boyfriend's death. For a while, many folks were saying the streets have their own rules, and that she broke one of the biggest ones, showing disrespect to the dead. As the story unfolded, it became clear that Tandagod was in serious danger. The streets wanted revenge. People started to talk about how she had a target on her back. Was she scared? Did she realize what she had done? Some sources say she went into hiding. Tandagod was found dead, and the streets whispered that her ex-boyfriend's affiliates were involved.
An East Bay rapper over the weekend, and her friends say she was shot while attending an event at a beauty shop in Oakland.
The details murky, the message loud and clear. What makes this story so chilling is how fast words turned into bullets. Tan's situation reminds us that the line between entertainment and provocation is razor thin. You might think you're just venting or getting your story out, but the people on the other end might see it as a declaration of war. In this digital age, where clout and chaos collide, social media has become a battleground where words turn into weapons. But as we've seen, the line between entertainment and real-life danger is razor thin. The streets don't play, and the internet can amplify risks nobody's ready for. Anyway, that's it for this video. Bye.